Hey everybody, it's me, Captain Dan. How are you doing today? Yeah, we're here in the Minecraft workshop world. We're gonna be continuing our build of the Skeleton XP farm, and this is the episode. This is the payoff. This is the one where we actually finish this thing up. We can start collecting XP. It's amazing. It's really great. And you know what? We're just gonna jump right back to it. If you remember, I was just sort of terraforming the area outside of the two chambers, one where we'll send where we'll send the skeletons up and bring them back down and drop them and crush them. And that is the thing. That's the thing that we're going to be doing today. But before we go and do that, please like and subscribe and ring the bell. It makes a big difference. It is the only way that we can become best friends for life. I'm telling you, like you think it's a joke. I'm being serious about it. So just like, subscribe, ring the bell, and we're best friends for life. That's it. That's all you got to do. So without any further ado, let's get to it. Now, what's nice about this is we can send them in any direction that we want. What I really still want to do, though, is I want to have them come up, and I just want them to go this direction right there. I think that's the right direction for these guys to go. I think it gives us the most flexibility. Well, what my idea is instead, and I definitely know I do not have enough glass for this, but now that I've seen this and that this is the idea here, I definitely want to do a glass tower all the way up. I mean, how amazing would that look to see them coming up and out of this and then carried up 22, moved over a little bit, and boom, dropped down right there. That would be so cool. I just think that's going to be beautiful. It'll be the best thing I've ever built in my life. And I think I don't even need them to go that far. Maybe they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks and then drop right there. I think that's perfect. This right here is going to be the killing platform, if you will. And so that we know exactly how high to make this. Again, we have to bring them up 22 from where they're going to hit, right? So if they're going to hit that spot right there, that does not count as 1. So that's right there, 0, 1, 2, 3. So they need to fall from that height there, all the way down onto that right there. So that is how high I will need to do this. And if I want to make a glass chamber to take them up, oh boy, I am going to need a lot of glass. So I guess I better find a lake and start collecting, some sand. Isn't it going to be fun to see those skeletons coming up and dropping down out of this? It's going to be pretty awesome. It really is. Okay, here we are back at the base, and I've got all of the glass I probably should need smelted up. I went ahead and smelted up some of the cobblestone into stone, and there's a little bit left in here. I could probably grab that on my way out. You never know. Might need some more of that, and it's never bad to have it because, like I said, I'm always using it to build stuff. So back we go again into the portal. Hopefully this is the last time I'll have to come back and forth to bring stuff, but now that I've said that, I probably jinxed it. But let's go ahead and go back through this portal. Hopefully no one will blow up and kill me this time as I go through it. Cross your fingers, you never know. Now, one of the things that I was thinking about when I said that I'll bring them up 22 and drop them back down, we actually need to be close enough proximity to the actual spawner itself in order to create the spawns. In other words, if I'm not within a 16 block spherical radius of the spawner right here, then it is not going to work. So what that means is if the spawner, if there's the one block here and then the one block beneath it, which is the stone brick, right? Because if you remember, there's a stone brick right there. So the one block beneath it, and then I am 4 blocks of air, so we're at 6 blocks, and then the spawner. That actually means that in order for the spawner to work, I would need to be standing pretty close to it. So what I actually think we're going to need to do is we're actually going to need to lower this down, maybe even lower it down into, not obviously into the area of the spawner itself, because that chamber needs to be completely closed, right? But into what I'm thinking of as like a killing room right next to it would be probably perfect. And so it will still come up into the sky. It just won't come up 22 blocks into the sky. It'll probably come up more like, 15 or something, maybe a little bit less. So we'll still be able to see it from the outside. Like, we'll still be able to show up and see it. And in fact, we kind of have to, because of the height of the spawner and where it is. It'll have to come up a little bit and bring them back down. That's fine. So that'll be something cool to look at on the outside. But the actual chamber where this death is going to happen, I think, should actually be a little bit lower. And what that also means is that when I bring them out, I'll actually need to push them over a little bit further so that there's actually room for them to drop and not be in the same, there it is, and not be in the same area as the spawner itself. You'll see once I'm down there doing this stuff. And so here in the room, actually, now that I think about it, since this is the east and this is the south, and we're already taking them up that way, the killing chamber needs to be right here on this wall, because we're already going to have them over a little bit. And when we drop them down, indeed, that is going to be the best place to do it. Really, it's the only place that we can do it without having too much trouble. You'll see what I mean, but they basically need to be a few up here. Yeah, I think this is going to be perfect. And with one block in, now I want to point out the reason why you have to make 4 spaces above and below and on each side. I forgot to mention this before, is because the spawn radius of this spawner for skeletons is going to be 4 blocks in every direction. So if you're outside of that radius, which you are on this block right here all around, then what that means is that the skeletons will never be able to spawn in this area, where, in other words, we're in the safe zone from the skeletons at this place. And we don't have to worry about them spawning inside of this room or outside of this area or this room that I'm about to build. And so for this room, which will be the killing room, I don't think it needs to be that large. I think it'll be about a 7x7 room. So we'll do 3 on each side of this little door. And I might even leave this door, closed up. I might do it more as a window. But you can see right here, this is the tube, essentially, that they're going to be floating up, right? So if we're bringing them up this tube, obviously I can't extend it as far as I thought in that direction. That's fine. But I can put some glass here so we could watch them coming up. And basically, once they come up, they'll go above us, essentially, and then they will drop back down. And where we want them to drop down is just going to be maybe 1 or 2 blocks over and then into the center of this little killing room that we're in right now, so that we can show up in the room, and once they're in this room, then we can just kill them. So basically what I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to want to put some glass just so that we can see once I've completely enlarged this room to the size it's going to be. And then we'll be able to sort of watch them as they drop and come over us and drop back down for death. Okay, so this is what I came up with for the killing room. We've got a little window right now that I probably will be putting glass into. I believe that will not affect any of the spawning from that. So that we can stand here if we ever need to look into the room. We can see, and I might even expand this and make this bigger. I don't know. This right here is the tube that these skeletons will be pushed up through. And so I'm going to have glass around this area. I'll be putting that there in actually just a minute. And then they will be brought up outside of this and brought back down so that they drop a total of 22 to this level right here. And then that's basically it. We'll be able to walk up to them and stand here and kill them and collect all the stuff. And if I ever want to do any kind of sorting or anything, it'll happen under there. So that's it. We can always expand this room out a little bit further in either direction if we ever wanted to. Although I only really anticipate coming here when we need the XP or we need bones to make bone meal. Of course, I'm going to make this room look a little bit better. I might take the ceiling up a little bit. I'll make the walls look like something good. And that's about it. And I just threw some cobbles here, a couple blocks here, so that we can get in and out easily. And so you can see exactly where we are when we get out. Now, the fun part is actually going to be doing the heavy lifting. Now, if you remember, this is not the direction that we're going to be taking them anymore. And yes, this portal isn't necessarily in the best place anymore, is it? Now, when I move that portal, it is going to affect where we wind up in the Nether, and so that little tunnel that I built is going to have to be adjusted. What I was thinking is I actually had a couple different ideas. I thought maybe I could move the portal so that you kind of come out of it and you're right up here facing this cool skeletons dropping, or I could move it so that it's down here and actually like right here in this wall. But I kind of like the idea of having a separate entrance and the ability to come down here. I think that's pretty cool. I think there could be something better than moving the portal down here, but we definitely do want to move it over so that it's not directly in line with our chamber moving up. But for now, it's okay. We definitely don't have a problem with it being there for right now. As far as where I need to now basically create this this hole, if you will, for them, it's going to be right here. And basically, we need to have them dropping a total of 22 blocks when they land on this particular block. And so if you see here in this display, of course, you need to be in Java to do this. You can see it says block minus 403, 61, 885. Well, the important number here is 61, and that's the block that we're looking at. If you, basically that's what we need to know, is that the level that we're on is 61. If we jump up onto this, we're now at 62, right? So we want them to land on 62. So in order to subtract 22 blocks from that, you get 40. So we need to build the tower up to 40 to watch them drop and make sure that that's the right height. And so that's what I'm about to go and do. I'm about to go and create that tube up there for them that goes up that many blocks high. In the meantime, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put the glass in here, because it's about time, once I build that tube up, for them to be enclosed and to have the water going down, and then we need to make it into a bubble column and that kind of thing. So I've got my work cut out for me. All right, so the job begins. I need to take them up until the 84th block and then move them over and drop them back down. So I'm just going to just get started on this process. I mean, it's got to happen, and we need to do it. So this is of course the block that we'll be standing on right here. And then we've got to take this all the way up until we get to the 84th block. All right, and here we are. Lovely, isn't it? And what we're basically going to be doing now is we're going to be building this chamber up and around out of glass, if I have enough glass, which I hope that I do. And then we'll be able to get the whole process going. And I'm going to cap off the top with stone brick also. So the top one where the water actually is going to be flowing, which is this one, is going to be a stone brick cap, if you will, like that. Because this is the level that the water and everything will actually be pushing them out and taking them that way. This is essentially the level right here that they will be standing on when they come out, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're looking at the completed chamber now, where we're going to be able to watch the skeletons as they come up and come over this way and drop back down this tube right here, which we will be building as well. I think I'm going to want glass for this tube also. Why not? It would be really, really cool to see the stupid skeletons coming up and then dropping back down. And if we ever wanted to stand out here and watch that, we'll be able to. I think this is going to be pretty funny and pretty cool looking. Now, I don't want to say it's the hard part, but the harder part, the trickier part, is going to be building up this little bridge over there. But first, we get to do something that's kind of really fun. And that is we get to turn this into a bubble column. And we do that by taking some water, and essentially we pour the water down, and don't worry about moving them across just yet. That's going to happen next. But for now, we want to pour the water down, and then we will convert that into a bubble column. And we do that with the use of the soul sand, which is going to make it the bubble column once there's non-moving water, essentially a source block of water. And we do that by converting all of this running water with the kelp. So let me give you a demo of this. We place the water down, and you see how it went all the way down there when we did that? I'm going to just show you that it's actually, there's a column of water now, you see? And if you were to go into this column of water, obviously we would start to drown almost immediately, but the use of the kelp is going to help turn it into a bubble column. So right now you can see I'm just sinking, slowly sinking, right? Well, when you... Well, that's interesting. We've got to put the glass in here. I would have expected that to have not worked that way. I thought this would have spilled out. That's kind of interesting and weird. But okay. So that's interesting. Okay. Anyway, we're in the water column, and now we get to place the kelp. And when we place the kelp, we're turning these these moving water blocks into source blocks. And as soon as we break this kelp, this will become a bubble column. And we can break it relatively easily. And as soon as we do, we just give it a second, and there's our bubble column. So that is the path that the skeleton is going to take. All right, so let's try this thing out. I am now a skeleton, right? I'm being pushed I've spawned, I've fallen, I'm being pushed. Here I go. I'm going down this chamber. I'm getting pushed a little bit forward here, slowly. I go up, and here I am, right up at the top, right? That's perfect. So now, what we actually need to do, And just to make sure that I'm at the right, I don't need a screenshot. I need the height. The height is 84, so that's perfect. That's exactly where we need to be. And now we get to take some of these blocks and put them back here like this. Basically, what we're going to be doing now is creating the bridge, I guess you could call it, that leads us over to the drop channel. And we want to move these guys across and over and into that. That hurts. Don't do that. Basically up into this. So now I can do the same thing. I can build a nice glass chamber up. And I'm wondering if that bottom one should be glass as well. What do you think? Should it be double like that and have... No, I think it has to be this way. Yeah, it has to be this way. Okay, so now I'm going to be able to build up to the same height. No water in this one, of course, but a build up, and then we'll have the little bridge going across, taking them across, and then dropping them back down. So off I go, building, and I definitely have enough glass now. I'm positive of it. No problem. Yeah, that's going to be enough. So the skeletons will come up here. They will be pushed across here with some water blocks, which is going to basically just send them all across. And then they will fall down there, which is not something that I want to do right now. What I also need to do is I need to put a sign right here that will prevent them from the water column from going back down. And I don't have one. Oh, wait. I do have one. I do have one. Beautiful. And now they will fall down, and we can test it with this little boom. There it goes. Beautiful. And of course, what we need to do is we need to build this up a little bit so that this is also a chamber, and it's going to be tall enough for the skeletons. We don't technically need to cover it, except we do, because the skeletons will take sun damage if they are not enclosed fully in this. And in order to do that, I'm just going to put some glass walls around it, and it'll basically take them down all the way to the end, and above it we can just cover it up so that they will not get seen. You could do this with tinted glass if you wanted to, because tinted glass would allow you to see, but because this is so high up, you're never going to really be able to see the top of it. It'd be tough to even see them moving across it at all. I could do these in glass along the sides. It might be more fun. And so I'm actually thinking that I might want to do that, to actually put, capture this and put glass around so that you could kind of see them moving alongside of it. So I'm going to be doing, only 14 glass left. I'm going to have to go make more glass, aren't I? Either way, I'm going to have to go make more glass. Wonderful. Okay. Sealed up. And let's see how this thing looks from the ground. If we can see, I think, oh yeah, it might help me if I actually put the final bit of water pushing across. That might matter. That might help. I'd say that's important. Actually, we want it to be one lower than that. We want it to be that one. There we go. It might matter. It might make a difference. So the skeletons will come up here. They'll get pushed across, and they will drop down if all goes well. And the unfortunate thing is, in order to test it, we have to actually do it. We actually have to turn this thing on. But Yeah, so the skeletons will come up, they'll get taken across, they'll be moved across, and they'll be dropped back down. You will be able to see them doing this if maybe. And yeah, I think this is it. I think this is kind of cool. And let's go see if it actually works. So now, to make this work, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to, well, I guess I can pull this bed out now. We're going to need to remove these torches that are up here on the walls, remove the torches around that, and then the skeletons will start doing what they're supposed to do, which is spawn and fall, and that'll be that. Yeah.
I see them spawning in already. Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay. Now we can get over there and get into the killing chamber. See if they're working or failing. There's some friends right here waiting for us. So, yeah, I definitely want to put some glass up there, huh? So there he goes. He's in there. He's resisting the edge. It's expected. He fell in. So now we should see him fly up here and wind up over there.
Stroke of a genius.
There he goes. And now he should drop down right here. He's being brought. There he is. Okay, so it's working.
Yep.
Now, there's one thing that that we're going to need to do, and it looks like I'm out of them, but most people will put a slab underneath this. And I could have sworn that I brought the slabs with me. I could have sworn that I had the slabs with me. Maybe I put them into the chest over here. But people like to put the slabs there just to reduce any possible chance. Where are those slabs? I could have sworn there they are. They're right in front of me, Dan. Right in front of me. And so people will put the slabs here, here, and here, ostensibly preventing the skeletons from ever damaging us. And so now you'll notice that my XP level is 5, right? And also I have no weapon now. I'm just holding a stick. I could be holding my fist too. But watch this. They're dying. They die instantly with one hit. Well, not the guy with the armor. He'll take more. But basically, you can kill them. They're all at half a heart now, so it takes nothing to kill these guys. And then you just simply stand next to it, and look at that. And I've doubled my XP. I've got 10. I also got 18 bone in the process, and I got a bow. Now, what you can actually do is you can take like a looting sword, and you could do even better with that. And like I said before, if you wanted, you could put a hopper here, and you could have a chest right here that all of this stuff goes into, so you don't have to worry about holding it. You could put a sorting system underneath it. But for now, it's a wonderful way to get XP because you know what we want to do? Yeah, we want to enchant some more. So you can sit here and watch. You can watch them spawn. There they go. They drop down. You'll see them fly up here. There they go. There they are, and then they'll come over here and drop down, take some damage. You'll get the XP. And the arrows, and the bones. So we will never have to worry about bone meal ever again. And if you want to, you can just sort of idle here. You can just stand here and wait around. And they'll continue to spawn, and they'll continue to drop, and you can just wait and then smash them all at once. Like I said, you can take a sword that has looting enchantment on it. It doesn't need to be a diamond sword. It could just be a regular sword. Throw looting on there and you'll get even better drops from these guys. And because anywhere we go in this room is always going to be 16 blocks or less away from this, as long as we're here, there they go. A quick change here to some tinted glass, and which tinted glass is what we made with the shards and the regular glass, the amethyst shards, and it seems to have helped a little bit. It seems like now 2 or 3 are spawning instead of just 1 or 2, but anyway, that's fine. It's working fine. It's great. And basically, this is the game that you play now to get more XP. So what I probably need to do is get enough XP, because as you saw, I died, lost it all, to enchant, and then I'll enchant a little looting sword. I'll probably put a little chest or something right down here, or maybe build a better storage system. But in the meantime, I do need to make this room look a little better. I'm not a huge fan. Okay, now you see the little problem here, right? You see this guy standing on top of it? Yeah, that's an oversight on my part. That's a problem. I forgot to put the slab up above it. So I have to go back in and do that now. Which isn't what I wanted to do, but I have to go fix that. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a little. Stop. 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 I'm trying to help y'all. I'm trying to help you. Well, not really. I'm trying to help me. I'm trying to help you die. Okay. Good enough. Bye. Did you see how he was spinning around? That one guy was spinning. $26 levels. Gosh, 2-3 full stacks of bones. We're never gonna have to worry about bone meal ever again, are we? It's great. Or XP for that matter. We've got a nice little exit. I'm gonna have to clean this up so it looks better. Of course, we want to replace those with stone brick because, yeah, we don't do the cobble stairs. Oh, there are monsters nearby. Of course there are. Die already so that I can sleep. Am I ever going to be able to sleep in here? Is it always going to be too close? I think it's always going to be too close to them. So I'll never be able to sleep. So there's no point in having the bed there, is there? Definitely not. Definitely not. Okay, we can leave that thing there for now. This is working great. Just a little bit more levels and we'll be able to go and do some enchanting. But before we do that, I feel like I should unload a lot of the stuff that I'm carrying around. And we'll see if I can't go back to the base. And maybe I should just get those levels first. Is that bothering you right there? Does it bother you? Do you feel also like that should be glass up on the edges there? Oh, hi, buddy. Uh-huh. Take your little gold pants, thank you. Yeah, I feel like I need to, I don't know, maybe that's kind of cool. Maybe it looks kind of cool like that. I think it kind of does. That little edge there, I can't decide if it's should be glass. Look at him up there. Hey guys, how are you doing? Okay, so here we are in the completed killing chamber. You can see I've got some decorations going and some useful tools. Of course, you need an anvil and a grindstone for things like enchantments in case you decide to smelt stuff up in here. Very useful. For example, if you get armor that you don't want, you can smelt that down into some gold nuggets, for example. You can see the skeletons flying up and then coming back down. I put a clock in here so I can see what time it is in case I'm idling. I decided to get rid of the staircase. I think I mentioned that before, but in case I didn't, yeah, it was taking up too much space, and so now I've got a ladder. Now, I'm not a big fan of ladders in general, but for this purpose, it seems just fine. I put some gates around it here so that, the likelihood that a mob would come in and drop down and use the ladder going down, it seems highly unlikely. I suppose it could happen, but, if we're actually close enough to the spawner here that if we stand here, we can watch them going across and then dropping back down again, which is kind of fun to do. I enjoy it. I like watching them endlessly spawning and going to their death. I don't know. There's something kind of satisfying about it. Well, that about does it for today's episode. I hope you learned something. I know I definitely learned something building this particular XP farm, but there's so much more to do. I mean, now that we've got this XP farm, it means we can really enchant stuff. And with enchanting, you know what? You want to get something like mending, which means we got to get a villager, which means we got to breed villagers, which means, oh my gosh, there's a lot to do. So tune in next time for another episode. I hope you like it. Thanks again to everyone who has subscribed. It makes a big difference. See you next time.